OCR GCSE Computer Science, Episode 23, Part 2, Legal Issues. So in this video, we're going to look at what are legal issues, some examples, and exam questions. So, legal issues are defined as issues and crimes that revolve around legislation and law. So you can see here some really good examples of unlawful use of computers. So this ranges from stealing financial information, illegally sharing personal data, illegally copying and distributing copyrighted material. Now do note that the copyrighted section of the syllabus for computing has been taken out, so do not go too much into that. Extorting information or blackmailing somebody. Hence, you need to know about the following three computer legislations as well as their years. If you do not know their years, then you will not get the mark if you are asked to record them in the exam. So you've got the Data Protection Act of 2018, the Computer Misuse Act of 1990, and the Copyrights, Designs and Patents Act of 1988. So let's look at the Data Protection Act 2018. You may be asked to identify which act is not being followed in a certain scenario. So here are the various points to be aware of for the Data Protection Act. So personal data must be fairly and lawfully processed. Personal data must be obtained for specified, explicit, and legitimate purposes. Personal data must be adequate, relevant, and not excessive. Personal data must be accurate and up to date. Personal data must not be kept for longer than necessary, and personal data must be handled in a way that ensures security. Now, that was definitely a mouthful to talk about, but that was the biggest one. The next two are kind of small. So, you've got the Computer Misuse Act of 1990, which just talks about how it's illegal to access data stored on a computer unless you have permission. It's illegal to access data on a computer when the material will be used to commit further illegal activity, such as fraud or blackmail, and it is illegal to make changes to any data stored on a computer when the user does not have permission to do so. And finally, the Copyrights, Designs and Patents Act just talks about you not being able to use information and share content that you have not created yourself and that has been copyrighted or patented. Now, exam question practice, OCR specific. This is a really good question from CGP. No, it's not sponsored or anything, but it's just a really good resource. So the question is, one of the principles of the Data Protection Act is that data must be accurate and kept up to date. State three other principles of the Data Protection Act. Now, you could very well be asked this in your exam, so if you are unable to recall this as quick as possible, remember to revise over this topic. Let's look at the answers. So you could have said anything from what we looked at, so how it should be fairly and legally processed, it must be obtained for an explicit use, it must be adequate, up to date, not be kept for longer than necessary, etc. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, then check out all of the other subject resources I have on this channel, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already to Know for GCSE and Know for A-Level. Really best of luck in your exams. I wish you all the best and see you soon.